Pretty day outside. We make our way into the weekend together. Let's go. Those games last night, huh? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. The tournament was good last night, like really good. I'm tired the tournament was so good. I stayed up late, watched Gonzaga's comeback.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering here is that you made it all the way. I did not. But
well, you were recovering. You're still recovering.
Yes. To wake up, though, and see that Mick Cronin will need to recover for some time from this loss that he couldn't be gracious about for 5 seconds. Just
I didn't see his post-game press conference, so I saw you tweeted about it, and I know you hate him. You have a special hate in your heart for him, which is fine. But I didn't. What did he say?
Oh, he said, first of all, I don't have an opening statement. It took me 33 minutes to be allowed in this room, which is ridiculous.
Oh, my God. So he's bitching about it after the loss.
Yep.
Come on, man. At least, hold on. This is something that this is why you're free to bash him all you want before you even tell me what else he said. You're the head coach, man. You're the head coach. You're the example that the kids are going to follow, that the young men are going to follow. You know this. You know this. Every adult knows it. Okay? Now, we're not perfect, and we do all kinds of things that we later regret and wish we hadn't done or said. But something as simple as understanding the moment, where you are, what just happened, and what is expected of you, that's the bare minimum. You can't go be a bitch 30-something minutes after you lose and behave like a petulant child in front of those guys. That's the message you're sending them now. Whenever the next setback that they incur in life happens, it's okay. Just blame it on other people and deflect. Come on, man.
I don't.
Oh. Oh. That is something. That is something. How about that? Well, there it is. I mean, listening to Tom's not speaking. He hasn't said anything. We were listening to audio from Cronin prattling on.
YouTubers didn't hear it. Actually, that's probably a good thing. We might have gotten flagged. But suffice to say, it was 44 seconds of all excuses, no accountability. Radio audience heard it just fine.
I'm glad the radio audience heard it. But yeah, that's the you guys need to go back and listen to it. It was awesome. What a clown. And you can't do it. And this is one of the many reasons that, we like Leonard, but that is brutal. There's a time and a place. That's certainly not it. And they choked and got beat. And at the end of it, it was fun to watch. But that the Kansas State game, that was incredible. Watching the ending of that game and how that played out into overtime, all of it. I really had a good time last night. Good, because I haven't really loved the tournament. But last night you had high quality play and a lot of great games and a lot of big moments, and that was good stuff to watch. That was fun to see. And then I hope, obviously, that we get something of good news this weekend from the baseball team, but I fear we will not. The news hasn't been good.
Playing. Yeah, they had to move up today's first pitch to 1 o'clock due to bad weather, and I know what you're alluding to, which is, a useful arm is not available.
Yeah, useful arm is not available in Wyatt Crowell, and I don't. That's frustrating. It's you're fighting on the road against a better team, so it's an ACC series. You're just hoping, can we get a win? Well, that'd be the one. That'd be the guy. Now we'll see. They got to play the games, and it's baseball, and weird things happen, and maybe they go play really well and find a way to steal a couple. I don't know. It is baseball. You hold out that kind of hope. I mean, I bring it up all the time that baseball is a weird sport. In Major League Baseball, the best team could win 100 games and lose 62 of them. And if you search through and parse those 62, you'll see a series sweep at the hands of oftentimes a team that's well below 500. It just happens. So you're never out of it. You never lose that hope. that things can happen in a positive way. But if you just look at the two teams, just like you did with Florida the other night, you realize, man, they're up against it. And then you don't have your best arm. It's very, very, very frustrating. We'll monitor. Any score yet? I haven't checked over there to see if anything going on in that game, but we can kind of keep you updated as best we can.
Looks like no score as yet.
All right. So onward we go, which is to talk football, and they give us a lot of reasons, man. I know how excited you were to be back out there yesterday, and it was another reminder, for me, to just be excited every day we get a chance to go out there, because most of the time, this time of year, the weather's beautiful and the play is sterling. They play on Saturday. That is to say they scrimmage on Saturday. We are not available for that, in the sense that nobody is. The press is not allowed to watch that scrimmage. We'll have to hear back. That tune-up that took place yesterday was a good one. I think it was pretty intense. I was hoping it would be. And now we get this scrimmage. It does seem an awful lot like this is going to be a fascinating read based on what we hear from him, meaning Mike Norvell, on these backup quarterbacks. That's kind of the story here. It doesn't sound like Jordan's going to play much at all. He's going to play. Obviously, it sounds like they're going to give him a series. I think I described it aptly before, that I think this will be a lot like NFL preseason. He's going to get a series maybe on Saturday, and then they're sitting him. And then you're going to get all of those, you're going to get Tate and AJ and your guy who continues to look good.
Brock Glenn.
Yeah.
That's right.
Brock is not nervous. Golly. I got to be careful. We got to be careful with the narrative that we create around a true freshman quarterback who's been here for a couple weeks. But I'll tell you this, I agree with Tom in this sense. Like, there's something to him. He's got a lot of what for to him early in his career here. He's a big, strong kid, and he's not afraid. I mean, he'll let it zip. He'll let it go. And yesterday, there were a couple throws that made you think, oh, he's understanding aspects of the offense. Okay, well, now this is getting interesting. That's football related. That's not physical. That's football related. That's IQ. That's okay. All right. You got my attention, young man. I'm paying attention to you.
Yeah, and this is not to say that, AJ Duffy hasn't been impressive in camp
He's gotten
so
better.
far.
You can tell he's gotten better. Yeah.
He's gotten a lot better. But last year, his first camp, Duffy wowed on day one. I mean, straight up wowed. Day one, he might have been the best quarterback that day. I remember you guys did a wrap, you and Corey.
Oh, he was awesome on day one. Yeah, he was.
And then that was kind of it,
Yep.
in
Grand
terms
opening,
of,
grand closing. Yep.
Right. Glenn was good on day one. You were actually out there for that practice again, and he was fine. But he's been consistently solid, and he's going to push that room. As a true freshman, he's going to push them to be better, which I think is a bonus. Because what you need the kid to do when he's in his first camp is just not, sink in the deep end. Let's learn how to swim. No big deal. He's already starting to push, I think, by putting good reps on film. When they're going to be in the quarterback room and grading the performance from the scrimmage or any of their practices, I guarantee you, they clip up some stuff that Glenn does that's good, that can inform the room. Doesn't mean he's going to challenge for the backup spot this fall.
Of course not.
It just means that when he's taking a rep, you don't look elsewhere to what's going on the other side of the field. You stick around and you say, all right, what's 11 going to do here? He's been solid.
I just think it's interesting because I typically I try to catch myself and just say, all right, let's just ignore this and understand that kid's going to be in the weeds soon enough, and there's no reason to get excited about a true freshman quarterback other than you got a kid that you were recruiting heavily and you were hoping you could land, and you did. But as far as expectations for year one, let's just really not worry about it. Pay attention or divert your attention to other areas unless he demands otherwise. Well, okay. You're starting to demand I pay attention to your reps in these practices because that's not the first time, and this was the most definitive. Again, I do not want to paint the picture that, oh, my God, Brock Glenn's a freshman phenom and he's going to start. I'm just saying, throws a pretty football. He's a strong kid, and he seems to have a really good acumen for football. He's learning the offense very quickly. He's learning, and he throws on time, in rhythm, all of it. There's not a lot of that pumping, I don't know what to do, I'm going to take off moment for him. Yeah,
that happened a couple times yesterday, but when it happened, I said, oh, that's in him. Okay, he can hold the ball too long, which is, hey, the other thing that's happening too is there are plenty of moments where there are coverage sacks. There's some things that weren't noted in the observations piece last night. I was focusing more on skill than I was trenches and some of the 11 on 11. But last night, there were, or towards the end of yesterday's practice in the evening, there were a couple of plays that were straight up coverage sacks which that means there was good protection, number one. Wow. That means there was good coverage downfield, number two. Wow. And then there's a play made because of those two things that are both in concert. It wasn't instant pressure because of bad protection, and it wasn't a blitz pressure. It was just, hey, man, good job. 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick. First team offense, plays blown dead, coverage sack. Good thing to see.
I think the balance, the wins and losses from offense to defense, and who takes the day on a Tuesday, and then how does the defense, if it's the offense, how does the defense rally back on a Thursday? Like, this is the story of the spring so far, that the competition and the balance of who wins is just that. It's even. It's balanced. It's been fantastic.
I wonder when you're going to share the nugget about the trenches you saw yesterday, because the star of camp, at least for one rep, met a match.
Yeah, well, Darrell Jackson got flattened by Keandre Jones. Keandre Jones. Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, he did. And it's the first time in camp that I've seen anybody do that to him. And he did it. It was get you some pancake. But, they've got some dudes in short yardage. I don't know who's going to win the job. I don't know who's going to be amongst that starting five. I got to guess early on. We all do. But it's a very fluid situation on the offensive line. And that, too, is good news, buddy, because one day you think, oh, that guy right there, surely he's going to start. And then the next day you think, you know what? So-and-so's still battling over there. Oh, bless Harris is going to try to hold on to that job. And then the next day it's somebody different. So that's going on a lot. But there's no doubt that they have dudes that in situations may be better suited than in others. And so you can look at a short yardage situation, red zone situation, and say, oh, they've got the requisite mass for 3rd and a yard. They got that in spades. They've got it.
In theory, there is nothing wrong with rotating offensive linemen.
No, there's not. I don't care if you know that I'm going to quarterback sneak. I'm going to do so with my 4 350-pounders here, and there's nothing you can do about it. See the Eagles. I mean, they mastered that thing so much so they got to make a rule to stop that nonsense. Doesn't even look like football. But, yeah, they had some dudes. It was a good day for the offensive line. There were a lot of guys that had moments. I'll tell you what, Mike after practice talked about it. Julian Armella's had a good camp so far early on. He's really looked good. He's mature. He battles through some things. I think he's had a nagging sort of ankle thing going on with him.
Physically mature, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's huge. And he's matured a lot. He's very focused. I mean, he's methodical. I think that's a good way of looking at him right now. He's methodical. He's technical to go along with the size that he's put on. He was already big, but now he's even bigger. He's taken a big step forward, and I think it was interesting that Mike chose to call him out by name yesterday after practice. He doesn't always do that. He's hesitant to do that at times, but he did it yesterday, and I think it's the right thing to do. He's looked good. A lot of guys have, though. That's the good news. A lot of guys have. Like, we sit there, all of us up there, everybody on the beat, we kind of have our groups, and we all move around, and I hyper-focused, on the offensive and defensive lines yesterday. And we just took turns pointing out, like, oh, that's another good rep there. That's a good rep from Charlton. That's a good rep from, just a lot of guys where you could say that's a good rep. That's a good rep. And then there are the moments Jared Verse just blows everybody up and tells them all about it over and over and over again at the top of his lungs while other reps are going on. You're like, okay, man. And you're like that he's our red ass. You like that he's that guy for us. But God, that would be tough to take.
Oh, he's ruthless.
It never gets so. I mean, it never goes away.
That's the thing. Last year when everybody was asking about Armella this, Armella that, I was more cool on him because he could win an impressive rep even against a Jared Verse. But then when he looked bad, he was made to look awful in fall camp. Remember some of those, humiliating reps. You don't need those things to happen on the field on a Saturday. In practice, that's no big deal. You brush the dust off, the dirt off, here you go, get ready, next rep. In a game, that might leave more of a lasting impression and hurt your development a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm talking about this kid because he does look physically mature. He doesn't take anything from anybody, which is awesome because that means that he is going to be an enforcer type in a good way. You want that to be a hallmark of your offensive line. And as good as Dylan Gibbons was for us, I don't know that enforcer is one of the legacy points
No.
that he'll have, for the next guy to take over, which is, all right, I'm the guy who's going to clear the pile in a legal way without getting flagged. I'm going to make sure, hey, if you spend one extra tick with my quarterback, I'm going to separate you, and I'm going to do so vigorously. We don't really have the Ryan Jensen
No,
of this
no,
offensive
you
line
always
yet.
like to have a Ryan Jensen. on your team.
Armella looks like he's going
He
to
could
be
be
our
that guy,
yes,
yeah.
at tackle, but our Ryan Jensen.
He could be that guy. As we go to break, I will update you here. Many of you mentioned it in the chat, and I saw it also online here in other outlets. Yes, the UVA starting pitcher, Nick Parker, unfortunately took a shot off the dome. Tibbs hit a rocket back at him, and Tibbs will hit a rocket. That kid's at-bat, every one of them. I love watching every one of his at-bats. Even his outs, he's just a badass. Anyhow, this isn't to praise Tibbs, but he squared one up again, as he's wont to do. Unfortunately, he hit Nick Parker in the head. And he's up, okay, walked off under his own power.
That's good.
That is really good news. But he walked off under his own power. So we'll see there. I don't know if I'm assuming he's done for the day. Again, that's not like, I'm not saying that I'm excited for that. I'm just giving you an update on what happened. So we'll keep you posted there. Nick Parker got up and walked off the field. It's always scary, man. I hate seeing it. Like a lot of things in sports, injuries happen. We watch the games. A lot of times you're kind of like, oh, I hate that. He'll be all right. Line drives off the head and hit batsman in the head.
Yeah.
I always get queasy. You feel like that's the closest thing we see on a routine, fairly regular basis in sport where you think, is that guy dead? Like, it scares you.
Yeah, the other situation as a hockey fan is when a guy is boarded face first.
Oh, into the
and you see, or the nose goes into the leading edge underneath the glass.
Oh, yeah, you're like,
that could be fatal.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And it's the sound of the comebacker that is one of the most really just disgusting sounds in sports. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's tough. I will say this really quick while we're on the subject, because 99.9% of the time, the people are fine. Everybody's fine. The guy that gets boarded in hockey, the line drive off the head, the hit batsman in the head, these guys go on to have a career and they're all right. But I don't know how. I get it in hockey a little bit more. If you don't break my neck and I can breathe still, I'll get up, and I'm probably thinking about beating your ass at some point. But in baseball,
that would be in your DNA if you're on the ice.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. But in baseball, if I never got hit in the head, I got hit in the ribs a lot. I got hit in the elbow and the hands, and I hate getting the hands and the wrists are brutal because that's a problem. It hurts, and all those little bones, they are easily fractured. It's a problem. You had an eye issue, so you routinely.
I got hit everywhere. If they said point on the doll where the baseball hurts you, I'd cover it in a blanket. I would just cover it in a blanket and say there, everywhere the blanket touches.
We're at a trial. This is the video we recorded when Tom was seeing a therapist after his Little League season.
It's still a problem. I'd have an issue going in the batting cage. Maybe we can do a video series on me overcoming this. But
I don't think you need to at your age. Just let it go. You don't need to be in the box facing, 90.
You could wind up with a slap shot. I'll stand right in front of you. It's all right. I'm going to be okay. It's going to hurt.
Right.
But there's the psychology of being in the batter's box. It's a problem.
Because you wore it because you had a stigma in
everywhere.
Your eye. Yeah,
astigmatism.
Yeah, in your eye. Yeah.
There's 20 and 100 on the left side. That's maybe I should have squared up to the mound a little bit more so I can see with a good eye.
When you go to Little League games and kids get hit, oftentimes they turn to the baseball.
Yeah, I did.
Which is not what you should ever do. You're always taught to just turn your back. When I see kids they haven't learned it, the muscle memory isn't there yet, and they turn into it, you're like, it's hard to keep from laughing. It's awful because the kid gets hit.
Chuckle at me. I'd pull the bat up above my head and kind of dive out the way. Because I can't see.
Matthew, you played baseball. How ridiculous is that? My man turned it.
When you can't see what's coming at you, you do strange stuff.
I know. That's tough. But what my point was before we go to break, it is definitely a loosey-goosey edition of the show today, is that when I see a major leaguer or college kid get hit with 90 in the face, in the head, I like to think I'm tough. I'm not as tough as the guy that gets back in the box and doesn't flinch on an inside pitch in his next at bat. I'm not that tough. I'm not. I would flinch. I know I would. It hurts, man. It hurts to get hit with a baseball. Don't ever pretend that it doesn't. People are like, oh, it was a breaking ball. Man, stand there and let me hit you with 67 off your elbow.
Yeah.
It hurts. I mean, you can handle it, but it hurts. It's like it's enough to make you go, oh man.
I blocked a hockey puck in the chest, and I was wearing a necklace, and it pierced my chest, and I pulled up the pads, and there was just all blood. I was wondering if I was dead. That's no problem.
Doesn't bother you.
Once I see the puncture wound, we put a Band-Aid on it.
You're good
We're
to
out
go.
there on the next shift.
Yeah.
No big deal. Batter's box. Oh, man.
Well, it's funny. You're right. The psychology is interesting. I boxed a little bit, and I got no problem getting hit in the face. Like, I'll take a punch to throw a punch. So, or at least I did. But, like, my point would be, I can handle that. You work your way up to it, but you get to where you can handle it. I've broken my nose 3 times. I'm like, okay, let's go. But a baseball hitting me in the face or head, no, I don't think I would be okay. I've seen, we've all seen, like, big-time power hitters who crowd the plate and wear shots at various points, neck, head area. Next day, they're on the dime, and you're like, look at my man out here taking a 97 in on the hands, just backing up a little bit. No, I'd be halfway in the dugout. Like, they would be laughing at me. I'd be running out of the stadium. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Car accident? Call Basic Brooks Law Offices, 777-7777.
Siri, tell me a joke.
The past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense.
All jokes aside, the trained professionals at Mac & More Systems are serious about Apple products. For all your Mac repairs, call Mac & More Systems at 894-3622. 894-3622.
Give your business a facelift with a modern, consistent, creative brand overhaul from Curiosity Marketing Group. These days, it's not enough for your business just to have a standard website or a Google listing to reach your customers. Your business needs to stand out with eye-popping branding, modern web development, and strong marketing. And it takes a team to pull it all together. Words and websites matter. At Curiosity, we make the most of yours. Find out more at curiositymg.com.
I used to fight almost on a daily basis working on my business website. I'm a pretty smart guy, but I could never get it to function the way I needed it to, and I was losing customers because of it. That's when I called Curiosity Marketing. They listened, they understood, we collaborated, and in the end, they delivered beyond my highest expectations. Now, I can barely keep up with the work. They say the future belongs to the curious, and now I'm excited about the future of my business.
Find out more at curiositymg.com.
Hey man, have you heard the sound? Talford Jewelry's the best in town. For rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. Talford Jewelry Store.
When was the last time you randomly did something nice for someone that means a lot to you? Now, I say this every day at the end of my show for everybody to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Well, one way to do that is to drop into Pentalpha and get a gift for someone who deserves it. It'll brighten their day, their week, maybe even their year. You don't have to wait for a holiday or special occasion, so don't wait to go check out a true local gem serving Tallahassee since 1988. Now, sing along with me, and I'll see you at Pentalpha.
Pentalpha Jewelry, Pentalpha Jewelry, Pentalpha Jewelry, home of the real nice guys.
Cannonball!
When I get home from work, I'm ready to relax. So I call Swain Pools and Spas to put my pool in the back. I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
It's springtime in Tallahassee, and there's nothing better than soaking it all up in your very own hot tub from Swain Pools and Spas. Swain Pools and Spas is the home for Caldera and free flow spas in North Florida, and Swain has the right pricing and tub size options to fit any yard and any budget with quick and easy financing options. Swain even has hot tubs that can plug right into your existing electrical outlets, so there's no additional installs needed. Visit SwainPools.com. That's SwainPools.com.
And right next to Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee Car Care. Stop in today for everything from an oil change and brake repair and tires to alignments and transmission, big or small. We do it all. It's Tallahassee Car Care, the only repair shop where you can take a dip while we repair your whip. Tallahassee Car Care, right next to Swain Pools and Spas.
Cannonball!
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
And I'll address it here. And the question is Derek McClendon transferring? And I don't know the answer to that. That question has been asked on the boards and other places. And their policy, I'm going to go strictly by the books here.
There you go.
Well, no, I'm not going to, this isn't conjecture. Their policy, and they've been good about this. So this is a complete hypothetical. All right.
Sure.
It is. No, this is a complete hypothetical. Jerry Smith. We don't have a guy on the team named Jerry Smith, right? All right. So here we are. Let's go out to practice. Jerry Smith is a running back, and we're there on Tuesday, and Jerry Smith doesn't practice. Man, no Jerry Smith today, huh? So that's normal. Football practice is hard. You get dinged, you get bruised, you get beat up. Sometimes you have class. Things happen. So nobody raises an eyebrow on that Tuesday that Jerry Smith's not there, other than to maybe say in passing, did anybody catch is Jerry Smith here today? That's kind of how that happens, right? And then somebody will say, no, I don't see him. He's number 27. Yeah, he's number 27. No, I didn't see 27 out there today. Okay, duly noted. And all that happens is nobody necessarily asks about it that day because guys miss practice all the time. The next practice that you go to, you look immediately during warm-ups for number 27 in this hypothetical for Jerry Smith. Now you're looking for him. And Thursday rolls around and you don't see him. What's wrong? You can tell me something here?
No, everything's good.
1-0 Florida State, double to start the bottom of the first for Virginia. There you go. So now you're looking for Jerry Smith and you're thinking, okay, he's not out there today. Okay, typically at that point, it's kind of open for the press to maybe say something. Right? If you're doing it right, I think most of us would agree that you either walk over to Derek or if you can talk to Mike, you'll go to him and pull him aside before the cameras are rolling, before anybody's recording. And you'll say, hey, I just want to ask real quick. I noticed Jerry wasn't here on Tuesday and Jerry wasn't here again today. I don't know if you plan on addressing it today. I don't know if there's anything to address, but is there anything you want to tell me? Because we're getting asked. And they know the message boards exist. They know that emails exist. They know the talk shows exist. They know. And they know that this fan base is paying attention to those videos, paying attention to the commentary. And if a guy's played a lot of football for you, like let's say Jerry Smith was a 1,000-yard rusher for you and he's suddenly not there over the course of a week, people notice Jerry Smith's not there. So they're going to ask. And it's just a professional courtesy at that point to pull a coach or the SID aside and say, hey, look, man, our 1,000-yard rusher, Jerry Smith, isn't here. What gives? Now, they may say, hey, listen, he's got the flu. It's nothing. He's going to be out this week. They've been doing IV fluids, trying to get him right, but he's been really under the weather, and coach wants to give him the week. Okay, well, then we're not going to report on that. Whatever, Jerry Smith has the flu. People get the flu. Happens. Guys miss work. Or They're going to flat out tell you, we got a problem, and it's going to be addressed by coach at the next practice. Okay, well, then he's going to address it. And because you don't know if it's an injury or whatever, you just leave it alone because he's going to address it. But the one thing I've noticed with this group is if a player is not there for any prolonged period of time, and if, in fact, it's going to be a problem, as in he wants to leave, they want him to leave, whatever it is, they pull his name from the roster. Like one day you look at the roster, he's there. The next, he's not. He's not on the roster. And it's at that point, dude's gone. It may not have been announced publicly, may not have been. If he's on the roster, there's nothing to report other than he's on the roster. I don't know. Who knows? Myriad reasons why he's not at practice. I don't know. But I get it, man. I get it. I get it with all the people that ask, because in the era of the NIL, and I said this is the spring of hurt feelings, man. It's the spring of hurt feelings. There are veteran players who've played a lot of football here that I suspect by spring's end will be gone. I don't know if that's what's going to happen with Derek McClendon. People are asking, where's Derek McClendon? Last I checked, his name's still on the roster.
That is correct. As of 15 seconds ago.
His name's still on the roster. If you want me to speculate, I'll speculate that we'll know something by Tuesday for sure. And I believe that. I believe we'll know whatever we need to know by Tuesday. Put it that way. Because they got a scrimmage Saturday, guys. They got a scrimmage. It's fairly important. It's fairly important. So if you just add it all up. It's not hard. That's all I'll say about that. Got a scrimmage on Saturday. I will also say, as we kind of navigate through these interesting times in college football with everything that's in play, I think what most fans will do, and I think to some extent will do, in the areas where you think that you're going to have attrition just because there's too many bodies, or there's, let's say, a transfer comes in who plays the same position, you're going to circle some people in those segment groups and be like, keep your eye on so-and-so. I mean, we're all going to do that. If you've got 9 viable receivers, I'm not saying we do, but let's just say you had 9 viable receivers, well, you might want to keep your eye on that position group, because a few of those guys are not going to get the run they were hoping to get. By definition, the numbers tell you that, and they're going to go find some place where they can.
Already had that happen.
It already happened with Malik McClain, so it's not surprising, right? It's not going to be surprising if somebody in that running back room decides too many bodies, too many people here. I'm just not going to get the touches that I want. I'd like to be featured a little bit more. No hard feelings. Let's hope. Peace. That it can happen. That too has already happened, by the way, at running back. So, does it happen on the offensive line? Does it happen at defensive end? Does it happen in the secondary? I don't know, but if you told me right now, do you think over under 2.5 players before the end of spring?
Oh, easily
over.
Hammer the over. And that's not because of inside knowledge. It's just the basics of, do you want to play? And kids want to play, and I don't blame them for wanting to play. Right. It's getting harder to play here. That's a good thing.
That's what you like about any of this. Used to be, if a player who had been playing for you and was a starter for you, regardless of what level of starter you thought he was taking up, he took valuable snaps for you. If all of a sudden he left, there just wasn't a lot to replace him. You got really nervous very quickly. You're like, that's not good. That guy could play. We got a problem here. He may be a problem in the locker room, but he could play. We need him out there. And then, but we don't do that now. Now we look in those segment groups that I was alluding to, and a guy doesn't play, or a guy's not there, or a guy whispers of a guy being disgruntled or whatever it might be. And you're like, if he leaves, he leaves. Good luck to him.
As you're sorting these things out, you've seen practices twice this week.
I have.
Both full contact. Uh-huh. Who impressed you the most yesterday? Is there a guy that stands out? Maybe 2?
Kyle Morlock.
Okay.
Kyle Morlock's a beast, kids.
He was a safety valve for at least a half dozen targets in a short period of time there. And then he had a nice little double move. I don't know that we're allowed to say what the double move was. I saw that it was cleaned up on my initial draft versus what made publishing. But a nice little double move.
Yeah.
He is just smooth.
He's a big, strong, fast, athletic kid. He's going to play, guys. He's going to play.
Good top end speed. Yeah.
Kyle impressed me yesterday. I thought he had a really good day. Really good day. He continues to impress me. He's bigger than I say it every time I talk about him. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. Not height. I'm talking about thicker. He's thicker in the waist and in the thighs. He does. He does. So there's some hitting going on out there.
Anybody in the trenches yesterday?
Yeah, we already had the aforementioned.
Well, Keandre Jones had the rep. But
Keandre Jones had a good day, and then I mentioned him last night. Who did I mention last night? Had a good day. Richardson.
Oh, yeah, Daughtry.
Richardson had a good day yesterday as well.
He was brought up in post-practice.
Yeah. Daughtry had his best day. Best day yet. Of any day that he's ever been out there. He had his best day yet. That is for sure. I agree with that. I thought he was good yesterday. I thought a lot of guys took turns having very good reps. So, you want a guy who dominates every time. Doesn't really happen out here right now. There's too many good players across from you. You're not going to win every rep. You're not going to dominate every practice. But if you have more good than bad in a given day, you'll stand out. Daughtry did yesterday. Keandre Jones did yesterday. Armella did yesterday. Those guys all had good days. And I'm really locked in on the trenches right now. There have been days where I walked away from the trenches and thought, Darrell Jackson. Let's just talk about Darrell Jackson. Yesterday wasn't one of those days.
Which follows form because the offense as a whole bounced back yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there on Tuesday, but everybody's consensus was defense wins the day. It's not all that close. That passing game yesterday was very, very good and balanced. Every quarterback had 2 or 3 throws where you say, wow, quite a few receivers took over portions of the day, and a couple of them straight up dominated, which is great. And it's not just Johnny.
I'll give you some inside dope, everybody. Here you go. You're not going to get this at the house. My man, ETSU. Etsu had himself a good day yesterday. Tyler Keltner, also known as ETSU. Etsu, at least in the portion that I watched, and I didn't watch all of what they did, but in the portion that I watched, Etsu made several 55-yard field goals, as in 3.
You told me about that because it was on the near field during a sequence. They both went 1 for 2 in the early portion of special teams. I think it was 23 and 46 were the kicks.
23? Who the hell missed the 23-yard?
33. Sorry, 30. It's 23-yard line. 33 and 46 were the 2 kicks that they each attempted. And then late, they both missed a long field goal. So I think they were both 1 for 3.
When you were
in the
official portion.
But then on the side work, apparently, he was turning heads. Was
Mr.
Etsu.
Etsu was turning heads, all right. Come on, Tyler. Let's get that consistency going. I was impressed. Very, very impressed. But, yeah, again, I missed some of those. I missed a few things there. The special teams, you just kind of, you're like, okay, these guys. It's not easy in a game. But these practices with these kids, how farcical. Standing over there, just hacky sacking it for hours on end. You guys aren't doing a damn thing.
I agree. We should be hearing about dead leg, not dead arm.
Kyle Morlock, man. That was my guy yesterday. He had a good day. Marcuston Douglas Biscuit has a good day every day. He's pretty solid. Oh, I meant to mention Lucas Simmons, too. Again, a good day for the offensive line. Lucas Simmons provided his most consistent level of good play yesterday. He was rep to rep. He was better than he's been since he's been here. I mean, he's young. He's 6'8", 310, but he's got that huge base, but he's gangly up top. And sometimes he's struggling. He's going against some of these, veteran players, and they've kind of beat him up a little bit at times. But yesterday he was more consistent, so that was good to see.
Hey, if Armella can throw in a little snarl, right? Teach him a little snarl.
One of the things that I like doing when we're out there, and I know we got to go to break, but one of the things I like doing when we're out there is kind of discovering amongst the young players who's taking them under their wing, who are they learning things from, who are they gravitating to. Friendships, bonds are forged. That's one of the beautiful, beautiful things that exist in sport, and certainly in football, a sport where you sacrifice so much physically, you tend to bond a lot quicker. and you'll bond with your segment group mates. I mean, you're going meetings together, you eat together, you work out together, you do all these things, and it's cool. Bryson Estes and Lucas Simmons seem to have a friendship, and Estes and him were talking at length after practice yesterday. Bryson is a tough SOB and kind of a, I don't know.
They're very different offensive linemen.
They are. Yeah. Well, one's 6'8", the other 6'3".
One's a guard, one's a tackle.
Yeah. But it was cool just to watch those two kind of talk. They were talking about technique. They were talking about a lot of things. It was neat. Good for those two. That's the second time I've seen it. Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office detained 4 people after a shooting Thursday at the 3300 block of North Shore Circle, a residential area in the north end of Tallahassee, according to Angela Green, the office public information officer. Green said there are no injuries at this time and no threat to the public. The circumstances of the incident are still unclear. The investigation is ongoing. A federal judge this week delayed the upcoming trial of Sean Michael Albert, who was accused of threatening a mass shooting at Florida State University at the end of last year. Albert was arrested at the Orlando airport on New Year's Day. Federal agents said he posted a picture of an AR-15 style rifle on a social media site and threatened to kill 100 gay people. Florida State University was not mentioned by name, but according to the criminal complaint, the post included FSU's main address and said, "See you there." Albert was set to stand trial on April 3rd. Now his trial is set to begin at the federal courthouse in Orlando on June 5th. This is Rachel Anand with your Old Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Michael Carroll with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Through midday today, some lingering areas of fog, otherwise gradually clearing skies into the afternoon with highs in the mid-80s. Then for tonight, clouds in the increase, a low of 63. Showers and storms then likely on Saturday up to 82. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, it's 68.
Hey, this is Dr. Ryan Finn at Finn Chiropractic. If you have a pain in the neck, bring them to Finn Chiropractic because neck pain, low back pain, headaches, numbness, and tingling can make your significant other or family member very irritable.
This is Dr. Shannon Lord. We developed the Phenomenal Health Exam to get to the cause of your problem. You can schedule your appointment at finnchiro.com. FENNCHIRO.com.
Whether the pain is in your neck or someone else's, come to Finn Chiropractic.
Because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
My man, Eddie.
Jeff, what's happening, dude?
Bears eating people all over the place. I read another article today. It's the third one in the last month of somebody getting mauled to death by a bear.
Man, bears have their own space. You got to let them have that.
You do. You got to stay clear of bears, is what you're saying?
Yes.
I got a question for you. Here you go. If you had to be mauled to death, eaten alive by any animal in the world, which would you choose to eat you alive?
Ooh, I think maybe I'd want, I don't know, longevity time, a mouse.
Slow burn.
Slow burn.
This thing just finished the pinky. It's been a month.
I could go to work. I could still do my thing. I could probably live 30 years.
I thought you were going to say great white because it'd be quick, or a grizzly. We went with mouse.
Yeah, mouse.
Okay. Mouse it is.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
We've got some stuff that we can do and start to play with maybe over the weekend here for StreamYard, which will be cool because we can customize it. In the interim, if while you're watching this show, just weird things pop up while we're talking or images that you were like, what was that? Nothing crazy.
Not
but
the bots.
Yeah. But if any of that happens, then you'll know what's going on there. It's just Director Matthew fooling around with some stuff. Pull up that box score, buddy. Let's see it. Let's see if it works.
Director is working feverishly on it.
Yeah.
It's too small right now, but we're getting there.
Yeah, you can
We're getting
almost
there.
see
You
it's
can
pretty
see that's
close. That's
1-0.
better than the FSU scoreboard at Hauser. It's ideal.
Or the one in football before they fixed it last year.
Yeah.
Remember that? It's like, how much time is on the play clock?
Yeah. The technology over there is not. We got to do better. We've got to do better. But yeah, we'll be playing around with that. We'll see what happens. Hopefully good things. Hopefully learn something. It'll be nice. By the way, did you you and I didn't get a chance to talk about this? Rick Pitino has been named as the new head coach at St. John's, buddy.
I haven't talked to my dad yet about it.
So here's what's funny. So for those that don't know, Tom has family that
My dad's alma mater
it's his alma mater, and wasn't his brother like the damn athletic director there
at Georgetown?
At Georgetown,
He went
Okay,
to
yeah.
St. John's for his undergrad, but he turned his back on St. John's.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah,
That's a big thing between the brothers.
there's a whole Big East affiliation here.
Oh,
all
God.
those years, yeah. Well, anyhow, now you got the upstanding and ethical one in Rick Pitino making his way to St. John's. Oh, man. Well, hey, listen, he'll make his return to Madison Square Garden, where he previously coached the Knicks for a minute, 88, 89, before jumping at the chance to go to Kentucky. Remember that?
It's such a layered thing, too, because up there, I was there last week, and Pitino's name had come up. Iona makes some waves in New York, but nothing crazy until the tournament. St. John's, however, would make waves. They played in the Garden, for crying out loud. People are like, can't wait to see him be the coach at St. John's. I'm like, you who are wearing a 9/11 sweatshirt right now.
Yeah.
It is such a layered thing up there. It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm old, and I can remember when Louis Carnesecca was the coach. You've heard that name.
Absolutely.
And was the all-time great. By the way, Louis Carnesecca is 98 years old and still alive. I don't know that everybody knows that, because Lou Carnesecca looked old as hell when he was coaching, and he was 60. And that's 38 years ago, Tom. That's a long time ago.
I believe he and Hubie Brown fought in the Civil War.
I mean, he retired in 92, and he looked ancient. I remember thinking, oh, Lou's going to kick the bucket. Then I looked it up. He was 67 when he retired. He was 67 going on 100, and now he's 98. I hate to think what Lou Carnesecca looks like now. It's just dust with legs. He's somehow still with
Jesus.
us. I mean, come on. But since he's left,
Just when I think I've heard it all with morbidity in you. Dust with legs. Oh, man.
here are all the coaches. They've gone through a bunch of them since Carnesecca left in 92. It's crazy to think about. There was Brian Mahoney. I love that his name was Mahoney. He was there from 92 to 96.
Sure he wasn't a cop?
Irish cop ready to hit you in the side of the head with his billy club for not getting off the walkway.
And he calls it the Billy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hit you with the Billy.
Yeah, that's it.
Stand down, son.
Fran Fraschilla was the head coach at St. John's. Fran does I'm glad he got fired after 2 years, because Fran does a great job for ESPN.
Absolutely.
He does a great job. I hate that he was fired for allegedly abusing players, but there's that. Hey, it was the mid-90s. A different time. Mike Jarvis was the coach. We remember Mike Jarvis's era? Not really. Kevin Clark, Norm Roberts, Steve Lavin was the coach at St. John's. Chris Mullen, forgettable tenure. Oh, Chris Mullen.
Oh, they really wanted it to work in the St. John's
Oh, you
community.
think? You think
Yeah.
so? Wonder why. Anyhow, Chris went 59 and 73, and basically my man was there for 4 years. Didn't even get through the fourth. They said, "You can get time. You go ahead, call it a day." Mike Anderson was the coach, and now here we go. Pitino, he'll have success. I mean, he will. He'll win there. He wins. He does. Now, he does a lot of other things.
I believe he said he deserved it.
Oh,
I think
I hope.
in his presser.
I really hope that's what he said.
I deserve this.
He's 70.
After all I've been through.
He may have calmed down. Maybe no more table concerns. He's 70 years old. I don't know that the women are throwing themselves at Rick Pitino the way they did on a fateful night at an Italian restaurant.
Maybe in Bensonhurst at a senior citizen home.
I hope everybody at St. John's, to make him feel welcome, lights up a cigarette the second he steps on to the court. There was nothing better than when he was over there in Greece.
A bunch of Greeks over here?
He's just disparaging the Greek people left and right. They're disgusting. People probably forget that, but we brought it up on
we
the
don't
air.
forget.
It was one of my favorite things.
What is with these Greeks?
They're just all smoking like chimneys during the game, like 1920s at the Polo Grounds or something like it. That's the most amazing thing to me. I love old pictures. The fact that they have been able to advance technology to a place where you can colorize photos that were black and white, I find it mesmerizing. You know, the technology's gotten so good that sometimes you don't even realize, like, oh, that was from 1880. Goodness gracious, you know. So you look at these pictures, but every time what it does do, it also makes the faces of the individuals a little bit clearer. So you can see their expressions and you can look at them. And every time I see pictures of 1937 fans at a baseball game, I think, what is going on? What? These guys are 30 going on 77 in death. All of them are wearing three-piece suits, wool, in the dead of summer, top hats. Every person there smoking like it's the last thing they're ever going to get to do.
They all look like the bitter beer face guy.
Oh, it's brutal. They're just smoking and smoking and smoking and looking around, watching a baseball game. It's 105 in a suit with cigarette smoke in your eyes on a Tuesday afternoon trying to take in a baseball game. Did nobody look around and go, what are we doing? This is ridiculous. Why are we dressed like this? Put your cigarette out, Steve. Fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Hi, everybody. It's Ed Dean, Florida's #1 statewide radio talk show, now in Tallahassee afternoon drive from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Yes, highly entertaining, fast-paced, never boring. We always give you the story behind the story when you catch the Ed Dean radio show. And we are ready to go. Tallahassee daily, 5 to 6 p.m. It's the Ed Dean radio show on Real Talk 93.3 FM, WVFT.
Hey everybody, the perfect fireplace makes your house a home. How's your fireplace looking? Not too well? Hearth and Patio can help you with that. Actually, Hearth and Patio can help you with anything fire. Give my friends a call at Hearth and Patio. If you need new fireplace upgrade, fireplace repair, you need custom outdoor kitchen, grills, or an amazing fireplace for your backyard. 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or you can visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth Patio Tallahassee. They keep the home fires burning.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service, right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mandlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
The latest betting odds and live movements from Vegas. This is your action update.
Now here are your latest lines from our guys in the desert.
NCAA Tournament Sweet 16 today. Creighton laying 10 against Princeton. Double-digit underdogs. 15-6-1 against the spread. In the Sweet 16 since 2011, 74% of the money on Princeton to cover its 10-point underdogs. Track where the money is flowing for every game on the board at VSIN.com. Betting splits. Alabama laying 7.5 against San Diego State. Houston, the 7.5-point favorite over Miami. Texas laying 4.5 against Xavier. College baseball today. The Florida Gators, $1.25 favorite at Ole Miss. Florida State, a plus 155 underdog at Virginia. Cavaliers, $1.90 home favorite. Sign up now for your free VSiN subscription at VSIN.com/subscribe. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
Get ready because Scott's is taking over daylight saving time. It's such a big event that we're calling it day-long saving time. And now it's got real savings. In fact, it's the biggest deals of the year. Audacious? Absolutely. So don't wait. Stock up early and you'll be able to save up to $20 on Scott's Triple Action and Easy Seed products today at the Home Depot and Lowe's. Offers available March 9th through 22nd at select U.S. stores while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See store for exact offers.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants to polos and khakis to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
A cup of Joe, Java, brew, go-go beans, brain water, liquid lightning, wakey juice, whatever you call your cup of coffee, you're missing out if it's not Grassroots Coffee. At grassrootscoffee.com, you'll find an easy way to order the best roasted coffee beans available. It's very simple. Choose the blend you want and how you want it ground, and the bag you receive will have the date your beans were roasted and packaged on it, all written by hand and signed by the roast master himself. You'll know that's as fresh as it gets. You can get Grassroots outside of your house also at some of your favorite restaurants in town. Next time you're out to eat, try asking for Grassroots Coffee by name because there's a good chance they will have it for you. And if you own a business, Grassroots Coffee has options to stock your break rooms with all the productivity powder your team needs. Plus, like some other options that you'll find at work, Grassroots Coffee actually is a part of our community. Get to grassrootscoffee.com today and get yourself a treat. Some locally owned, locally roasted, and locally loved Grassroots Coffee.
Did you know that when you order food delivery through third parties like Uber Eats and Bite Squad, local restaurants lose up to 30% of their own revenue, and you're actually sending your money to corporate bank accounts in California? Well, now you can truly support our locally owned restaurants by ordering directly from foodiestakeout.com. Choose from delicious options like El Jalisco, Smitty's Tap House, Hangar 38, Jerry's Cafe, and many more. With Foodies Takeout and Delivery, we can actually put our money where our mouth is. Order your next fresh meal today at foodiestakeout.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How's Florida State, Virginia progressing? We still up 1-0. We're doing some things here. I saw during the break.
We could tell you live on the screen. There it is. 1-0, bottom of the third.
So that little itty bitty thing there, we can't do better than that. Can't get bigger than that.
What do you want me to take up? A sponsor logo, an identifier from one of our places?
Temporarily. I mean, just to scroll that thing down a little bit. Let's see what the hits are. Who's pitching?
Oh, really?
Let's go.
You want the whole box score?
I want it
How about
all.
I just put the tab of the box score up and it blocks us out for today?
You could do that temporarily. Let everybody take it in. Oh, there it is. Look at that. We got a couple hits. They do too. Look at that. All right. No. Still 1-0. Bottom of the third is what I'm seeing here on our little. Yeah, I too remember. You guys have been talking about this during the break since I brought it up. Everybody can remember getting on the plane, and there were ashtrays in the armrests. You can remember that, can't you?
Sure. Yeah.
I think that was that wasn't taken away all that long ago.
I was on TWA and Pan Am flights before they were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had an interesting lunch yesterday. I'll share this. Gene has had some harrowing flights in his time.
Folks out there, many of you know Gene.com Williams.
He has had some harrowing flights.
Do not ever get on the same flight as Gene.com Williams.
PTSD for Gene. But at first I was kind of like, come on, Gene, buck up. You know what? We've all had some turbulence. But then when he told me about the plane turned sideways and all that, flying into Mexico, my man, that's a toughie.
People without their seatbelts on,
getting flying, busting their nose,
thrown into the sides of the plane, the bulkhead.
Always got to have your seatbelt on. You don't have to cinch it up. Just have to have it loose so that you don't go flying up when you drop.
People bleeding everywhere, and you've got the wing about ready to touch the runway until the last second.
I'm telling you. So I watched that MH370 documentary on Netflix, and the plane that vanished out of Malaysia, the Malaysia airline plane that vanished. And, again, I've mentioned this before. My brother, air traffic control for 25, 35 years, whatever it was. He's badass. And I talked to him about, that. And I knew he could lay to rest some of the nonsense that gets put in these, because they know they're not talking to experts. So a lot of times when you have people speculating about a crime, or you have people speculating about a field they don't work in, they'll just let nonsense go on those documentaries. They're like, well, you know what I think happened? Who the hell are you? Yeah, but if you talk to somebody in aviation, they're like, no, that couldn't happen. That didn't happen because it can't happen. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing. But they made 20 minutes of this documentary as this guy's theory. Yeah.
They
it didn't happen.
They present it evenly,
Yeah.
where they give the wacko more time.
They give the wacko more time.
Yeah.
And they give a lot of wackos time in this thing. But
some people have interesting theories as to what happened.
Remember when the History Channel was good? When you could watch the History Channel and it was about history instead of aliens building the pyramids? It used to be you could watch history. Now they're like, they sold out like everybody else did for clicks. They're like, I don't know. Let's just say that this happened. And let's bring on a guy who says that he's an expert because he spent 20 years of his life chasing this pipe dream.
The history that they want you to believe. All right.
Yeah. It makes me laugh.
Hang on a minute.
But anyhow, but one thing does remain true about this, and that's why I wanted to watch it. The plane disappeared. They can't find the plane. They don't know where the plane is. And I wanted to know from Aaron, how's that possible? He's like, it really isn't. I don't know how that happened. He's like, that's strange. There's a problem.
Yes, comrade. Very strange.
Yeah, it is very strange. So anyhow, why did we bring that? Oh, we were talking about cigarettes on the plane. Yeah. I remember sitting where people could smoke on the plane. It was ridiculous.
At some point, maybe it was the guy who created History Channel, and he just got, ousted. You old timer. Aliens sell. Aliens and Hitler. If you can get in the same 30 minutes,
get them
they
together.
sell.
Get them together.
He's like, this isn't history, guys. And they let him go.
Yeah,
I'm going to start the military channel, and it's just going to be the same thing that the History Channel was when it first launched.
Except for it's not in high def. You're like, what's going on here? Why did they stick this guy on channel 34?
Neither was World War II.
I'm saying, though, the shows that you can watch on the History Channel are all in high def. That military channel, you're like, what is this? This is ridiculous.
Well, we're starting small. Besides, most of our audience is old, and they don't know the difference between HD and standard def. And that is actually very true.
That part is true, I'm sure. Hey, so I bring this up every year during the Super Bowl. I want to bring it up now because we lost one of the good guys. So, Jerry Green, remember I was saying Jerry Smith, the running back that I alleged existed for Florida State as an example. Jerry Green is very real. He's a legendary sports writer. Worked for the Detroit Free Press, the Detroit News, worked for a lot of different papers in Michigan. Was a longtime AP reporter. The point of me bringing him up, he was very good at his job, but he was the only reporter to cover each of the first 56 Super Bowls, all of them. He's the last guy that could say he covered every Super Bowl. He died at the age of 94. And he became the last reporter to see all the Super Bowls in February of 2020, having outlasted Jerry Eisenberg. You know Jerry Eisenberg. He was from the Star-Ledger. He was good. Remember, he would sometimes be in the round table. These old guys, I used to love those shows. Like the original sports reporters talking about smoking, sitting in a dark room with a lamplight on, smoking, talking about boxing. It was great. But those guys, they're interesting to watch when you hear them talk about what it was like to cover those first Super Bowls and all of that. But it made me feel old again, Tom, because I can, the last time we had this conversation, I'm like, I remember Super Bowl 9. You were like, what?
Yes. That is astounding.
Yeah.
You remember Reggie Jackson becoming Mr. October.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what is that?
Yeah. 3 home runs in one game. One of them's a Titanic blast.
You saw Gone with the Wind in the theaters.
No, I didn't.
And it cost a nickel.
Yeah, none of that nonsense. I told a story earlier today about how my brother John and I would have to take, we used to, one of the coolest things I ever did as a kid, though one of the most fun things that I ever, it's always the little things when you look back, like what gave me true joy. John and I would get on a bus in St. Pete and we'd get a transfer when you ended up downtown in order to get to Tyrone Square Mall. And we'd have like $20 in our pocket and we'd go to Tyrone Square Mall.
A lot of money.
I know, it's huge. We could spend all day. Like my mom would give us a 10 or a 20 or whatever, and we would go and get on the bus, and you get a transfer. A lot of hooligans on the bus. That hasn't changed. But you get on the bus, and then you get your transfer, and then you go to the mall, and you go into Aladdin's Castle. And for me, I went over to that Konami Tag Team Wrestling, and I played it for hours. It was the greatest game of all time. I loved it. And
you know what? We are of the same era with Konami. Konami was where it was at for video game makers. Even to because I caught the tail end of the arcade revolution. The very, very tail end.
It was a wondrous time. That and record stores and bookstores. They were all like, and a lot of times they were all right by each other. You're like, this is amazing.
The projector screen, this was the pinnacle of the celebration stations, Aladdin's castles of the world.
Mm-hmm.
When they had the projector screen on the wall with Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat.
See, I think I was already retired from the arcades at that point.
Probably 91 or 92. And when it was your turn to get there, you were so nervous because everybody could watch.
Yeah, don't screw it up. Plus you wanted to keep playing.
Yep.
That was the other part about it. You wanted to keep playing. So you're like, oh, well, got to make sure I don't screw this up. Yeah, we would play for hours. We thought it was the best. Get this sports-related moment for you wagerers out there. Hope you guys won some money last night. According to Action Network, and this is a fact, the past 2 years, man, pretty bad look for the Big Ten. 16 Big Ten teams have made the tournament. That's good. 0 have made the Elite Eight. My God. Thanks for playing.
All that money.
That's the most of any conference in that span. But you can add UCLA to the list out of the Pac-12 because they're forever doing it. Every year they're always, UCLA's really good this year. We'll see.
Hey, man, give us Big Ten money. We'll make the Elite Eight on the regular.
We've got some things to overcome here right now, and I'm very interested to see this play out. I was told that some folks heard my conversation or talking points the other day on the show. We need to get with the getting was the essence of my concern.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. People heard it, and they assured me basically through back channels that efforts are being made, man. Okay, well, every day.
I just hope they live up to your expectations. Listen, people out there, you hear this message. You hear this man. This man is asking for something. Apparently, when he asks for something, you need to back channel a message that says, we're working on it. Well, work faster. Tell him. You tell him, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I will tell him directly when I see him, but I haven't seen him. I have a medium here where I wish they can hear me. I can't hear them when they're muttering to themselves in the house, complaining about my comments. They have to tell somebody.
Hashtag do something.
Do something is right. And I don't want to hashtag it. But I would like to see something done. Over under. I asked this yesterday too. No, over under. This is not basketball related.
Good.
Okay, just for fun. Over under a year and a half for Jimbo left at A&M.
Ooh. Under. This Petrino thing is a disaster before it even started. He doesn't like the Petrino family.
No. And
they couldn't have hand selected somebody to call plays. I think that would have been worse for this working relationship.
Well, it's not just that. It's that he still exhibits the broken ass behavior.
What I'm saying is this is only going to bring that out even more. Like you needed more gasoline or kerosene. You brought C4 to this thing. He's going to refuse in the heat of the moment to allow that dude to call plays. Whoever hired him is going to hear about it after the game. And now you've got infighting. They're not winning anyway. Relieve us from this mess. What's it going to take, Jimmy, is what they'll say. Jimmy, we're not paying this whole thing. What would it take? And then that's it.
The one thing I'll say is, like, if you love football, if you're a coach, and that's a very trying position, you make gobs of money, true. But you probably, on the back end, fractured relationships, in many cases, lost marriages, time you're never going to get back with your kids, 19, 20-hour days. We see how hard it is on a lot of these guys in the profession. And I'm not saying that boo-hoo. You can leave voluntarily. I mean, nobody's making you do it. But if you really love it, it seems to me the guys that have the most amount of success, and it'll be interesting to watch with Mike because he's a young coach.
He's all about it now, though. He's not getting tired.
No. That's why, man, I used to talk about this all the time. It's a young man's game. If it's not a young man's game and we move towards where I think we're moving, I've said it before, CEO coaches, it means that Mike is going to have to transition at some point in order to do that. Otherwise, it weighs on you, gets to a place where you can't, every other aspect of your life is incomplete.
I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. As the prestige of this university in the immediate rise and meets its tradition, as we get to a place where the tradition says we should be, the coaching pool of candidates to come here gets more robust. We spend more on the coaches.
Right.
And he's already proven his first OC was a play caller. So this is not an issue here where he would he will seed it no problem.
We hope. I think so. I think you're right. He's very hands-on right now.
Hopefully the guy's good. I don't want him to
right
at the moment.
Well, listen, Mike's got a lot of energy. He's very young. He's in good shape, and he keeps himself in good condition. He's been really regimented. You can tell that. He has a way of going about his days that works for him. It's harder the more responsibility you have as you come up and continue to have success, the more demands are made of you, all of these things that go along with winning football games and creating what we hope becomes, everybody hopes to become a dynasty again. You want something like that. It's really hard to do. But you have to be willing to delegate. You have to surround yourself with people that you trust implicitly, that that, okay, tomorrow I got to spend some time I got to do something with my family, or I got to do whatever I got to do, but I know that things are being taken care of.
Who knows?
And Jimbo just didn't do that and hasn't done that and won't do that and is so hands-on and he resents anybody who tells him to maybe step back a little bit and look at it from a bigger perspective. He just hates it.
But the thing is that we're going to find out, is the best of Mike Norvell better than the best of Jimbo? Because the best of Jimbo engineered a national championship.
Right.
And so Mike still has to prove that. He has not done so yet.
Correct.
What I will
he hasn't won a conference championship yet.
Exactly. What I will say, though, leading up to this point where we are, it is remarkable how not disheveled and dead inside he's never looked the stressful part on the level that Jimbo did in the early days when Jimbo was fixing it by doing every little thing. And he did it. He flipped it 29 in a row in a title. It worked. So that was successful. But Norvell has never looked for one day like he was going to keel over. Jimbo did for months, years.
He would always have these weird stretches where he did, like, I agree with you, where you thought, oh man, this is not good. He's not healthy right now. put on a lot of weight. He looks tired, all this. And then other times you'd look at him and like, he's never looked better.
Yeah.
He would get it together. He'd start eating right, working out every day. And you could see it on his face.
There's Rip Jimbo, that little face.
Well, he was just excited. You know, you could tell he was attacking things again, but it was always fleeting. It's always fleeting. Yeah, I would think as a coach now, with the hours that are demanded of you, anywhere, if you're a Power 5 coach and you want to keep your job and make all that money and everything that comes with it, and you love to coach, you've never had to be more disciplined than you do now. I mean, I get that almost every hour of your day would have to be accounted for. I mean, what I mean by that is like, including the healthy parts, like this is where I eat a salad. This is where I drink this glass of water. This is where I get 6 hours minimum of sleep. This is where I'm able to get up and do this, this, and this. And this is where I work out. This is what, you know what I mean? Like you would have to have every aspect of it.
It has to be for him, again, for the consistency of his energy, his affinity for doing the little things behind the scenes for the program as well.
Think about the psyche.
He doesn't take trips off to go shake hands either, you know?
No. And think about this though. Like, so we're all made differently, right? You know, so your significant other, when you decide to go on a trip together, you have a way that you begin to think about the trip and how you want it to go and how you pack for the trip and how you plan for the trip. And she has a way, and everybody does. They have their own way, right? We talk about attrition, right? The ability to pack or to put things away and all that. It's fun, right? My wife can pack a bag like nobody's business. And I know that. And I'm like, oh, well, by all means, get after the packing. But luckily, we agree. We like to kind of freelance once we get to where we're going.
Yeah.
I don't need an itinerary minute for minute, hour for hour. We're staying here. We're going to see this. Then we got to see this. Then we're going to drive over here. And then right after the game, we're going to go back over here. And then we're going to, no, man. So you're rolling all that. We're flying into Glasgow. After that,
yeah.
Who knows?
That is most trips.
Right?
Most trips.
Yeah. So now there are times where you have to be a little bit more orderly, and you can
You're gonna do like the theme park thing. You want to get in and get out and get, for what you're going to be charged. All right, we are going to maximize this opportunity like a Mike Norvell practice.
That's one place. That's not seeing another country. But
no,
yeah,
if you're on another trip, for me, it's do I have enough sets of socks?
Yeah, underwear, socks, shirts. Am I going to be properly dressed?
And do I have something to wear nice if we decide to go somewhere
nice for dinner?
Other than that,
yeah.
If I don't have it, I'll buy it when we're there. No big deal.
That's right.
Let's go. Let's just leave.
But not everybody's that way. Some people's significant other is like, no, we got to do this, then we're doing this, then we're doing this. And you either can get along with that or you can't. And if you have decided to marry it, you're going to have to get along with it because you made that decision and you knew it long beforehand. And that's difficult. So if all of a sudden, because you and I are very similar in this way, our mess is memorized.
Yeah.
I can look at a desk with stuff everywhere. I know exactly what's there and where I put it and why. But it's right for somebody else to come and say, this looks ridiculous. Can you just clean? Yeah, it's okay. Both sides can be right in that situation. So
you know what looks ridiculous? The time you waste putting in stuff where you think it needs to go. That's ridiculous.
Tell that to my dad, ex-military. Everything has got its place.
It is better, though, when it is organized.
To the point where I go move the stuff that he has in his place because I want to see him fret. The little pencil holder, I'm moving it across the desk just to see what happens. And I don't tell him about it. And then I hear, 2 days later, who the hell moved? Why would this is not where...
That makes it worth it.
It's the best. It's the best. Oh, take off your shoes when you come in from the garage and don't leave them right by that door. Go put them somewhere else near the couch where other people can see them. I've got the spot by the door. There's no reason. You don't need to bring the shoes in here.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, right?
That's one of Jamie's things. Why don't you take your shoes off? I'm like, because I don't want
to. I have my shoes on.
Like free. She goes, free the toes. I'm like, no.
My toes are comfortable in shoes.
These are awesome shoes. These are great.
So here's my point.
Sometimes I like to take them off, yes, but I don't see the need.
This actually gets back to football. So if you are a head coach in today's game and you have our personality, you're going to have to figure something out. Because we would have to concede, Tom, that you've got to do you got to do the way he's doing it. You wouldn't survive otherwise. You wouldn't. You have to get up at 4, eat those blueberries to that oatmeal, drink that water,
blueberries,
get your ass on the treadmill for 40 good minutes, 30 good minutes, whatever it is. Get your exercise on, shower, get your stuff on, get to the office by 5:30. Let's go. We're going to be working from 5:30, whether it's film, glad handing over here, talking to the team here, going to lunch here, coaches meeting after that. Now I got actual practice. Then I got to talk to the press. Then I got to go back and review the film of said practice so that next day when the kids come in, because he wants consistency, he's got to be able to sit down with them and say what they did right, what they did wrong. Every player on the team, everyone has an individualized moment where they sit down with their segment coach, and it's all broken down. You did this right. You did this wrong. Technique's terrible there. Let's get it together. I'll see you out here tomorrow. All right, so then here we go. Boom, boom, boom. And by the time these guys get home, it's 10:30 at night. Oh, hey, honey. I mean, God, dog.
Not for me. And I think the hard part is if you made a deal with yourself that you could do it for 6 years or 8 years, then you probably aren't, in order to get to this level and then you're done. You're probably not wired properly.
Yeah.
To even get there in the first place.
I know.
You got to be about it. It has to be in your blood. You can't be a mercenary for just a short period. Like, when does that really happen? Players do it now in the NFL. Ali Marpet and others have left in their 20s. Coaches don't. They don't just up and leave after they get their first $20 million contract.
No, they keep it going, yeah. It's impressive. We would have to, that's one thing that really does stand out. Again, we talk about the organization and the passion and the consistency there. You have to find a way. And every coach, you see the ones that are succeeding, this is it. They're regimented in that way. It's unbelievable. And you see it more and more and more and more. Even young guys, that's exactly like CEOs, although he's more hands-on. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Score update? Want to give a score update before we sign off here for a commercial break?
Let's visually have an update. Oh, it would appear it's still 1-0. Florida State in the top of the 5th.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Hang in there, boys. Holding my breath. 1-0 Noles. Virginia has not been able to muster a run. I know they threatened twice. They had a runner at third, I think, with nobody out and didn't score. They also let off with the first with a double and didn't score. So good news there. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
This is Ken Wondergem, owner of Gem Mazda of Tallahassee, serving North Florida and South Georgia for over 20 years. And I'm happy to announce that things are finally back to normal at Gem Mazda. Our lot is loaded with brand new Mazdas for the first time in 2 years. So if you've been waiting for the price and selection of new cars to return to normal, the wait is over at Gem Mazda, where we've always provided our customers with the highest quality of service and care. You know Mazda's reputation for efficient, dependable, and affordable vehicles, but you simply must experience the luxurious new lineup of 2023 Mazdas in stock now at Gem Mazda of Tallahassee. Get adventurous and connect with nature in a brand new 23 Mazda CX-50 with all-wheel drive. But hurry in while the value of your trade is still high. At Gem Mazda, we take our slogan seriously. No games, no gimmicks, just a gem of a deal. Gem Mazda of Tallahassee, Capitol Circle Northwest, just up from West Tennessee Street, and always open at gemmazda.com.
At Penny Pool, Patio, and Spas, it's prime time hot tub season. And after a long, stressful day, there's nothing like soaking in a hot tub with all that steam. And it has lots of great health benefits, too. Penny Pool, Patios, and Spas is your true hot tub headquarters. Save today on the hot tub of your dreams at prices you can afford. Come and shop our 12,000 square foot showroom and find the right model for you. With over 50 hot tubs in stock, you're sure to find the one that's just right. And for a limited time, take advantage of a free spa cover with purchase of your new hot tub. That's around a $400 value, completely free with your purchase. If you're ready to relax, we're here to show you how. Penny Pool, Patios, and Spas. Come see us at 2473 Greer Road. Pick out your hot tub and enjoy your free cover. You'll be glad you did.
Trucking accident? Call Basic Brooks Law Offices, 777-7777.
Hi, this is Jamie McClenny from Trek Financial in Tallahassee. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges that you'll face in retirement. Trillions of dollars in stimulus from the Federal Reserve and D.C. politicians, combined with zero interest rates, have propped up financial markets since the financial crisis ended in 2009. The Fed recently ended quantitative easing and has started to raise interest rates at a time when the global economy was already slowing. Have you considered what another 50% correction in the stock market would do to your retirement plan? If you're concerned about where this all might be headed and would like to find out about the potential benefits of an active risk management strategy for your portfolio, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a review of your portfolio from an active risk management perspective.
Make Jamie your first call for a second opinion. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
Y'all want more energy, more strength, more results? Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Every child deserves a chance to live their best life and celebrate every moment. When you support St. Jude, you help give kids with cancer around the world that chance. Together, we can save more lives. Finding cures, saving children. Visit stjude.org.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
More life. You'll feel better each and every workout. You get stronger, fitter, and you look better. First class is always free. New members, 1 month free with the purchase of a heart rate monitor, and you'll see the coaching and the science-backed workouts effective immediately. And you won't be as intimidated as you thought you would when you walked past it the other day and you looked in there and saw everybody getting after it and thought, oh, man, I don't know. Nope. Once you get in there, you realize everybody's just monitoring themselves. You're good to go. So, Orange Theory Fitness, 2 locations in Tallahassee. One on the north side here where you can go over by Fresh Market there and check it out. Or Midtown. You're all good there, too, as well. And that first workout's free. Go in there and they'll tell you all about it. You'll find pretty quickly that it's a good workout for you and you'll enjoy it. Now, still 1-0. Is that right? I saw a frown.
A frown?
Okay. Well, you had a look on your face like.
Oh, for me, I was just answering something. Sorry.
1-0. The news is good.
I don't think 1's going to be enough, but we can hope.
I'm just shocked it's still 1-0. Yeah, I would have thought we would have been in trouble there before now. But again, I will say this. I think, when we think about baseball and we think about what this team is, he's going to have, we talk pride and toughness, and Link's got all of those things, and players will take on their coach's personality and all those. They'll fight, so I'm not going to be surprised if they're hanging in there for this thing. At this one, Tom, you might steal a series, buddy. Dare to dream.
It all starts with the first game.
You didn't see the 3 last night, the Gonzaga 3?
Not live. I can't believe where he shot that from. Now, I understand there's precedent there between those 2 teams, and that's the Villanova play. Like, I get all of that. That's still a shocking shot with that much time left in the
Goes to show you that in rhythm, though. Like when he's in rhythm, it's really well done. It's just, Bryce loves basketball, and when we're shooting, it's funny. I'll occasionally pull up. There are certain guys online. That's the one great thing about YouTube, whether it's golf or basketball or tennis or whatever it might be. If you end up wanting to, discover techniques or methodology for anything, a chip in golf or whatever, you'll find people and you pick the one you like the most or the guy that has the most success or whatever it is. Well, that's true. Like the basketball videos, you can watch some of the greatest shooters of all time teach you how to shoot. And when you have a kid, it's cool to go through those exercises, but they will talk about the catch and rhythm and then everything working together. Like you see it in that shot, that three. It is so fluid, comes up. That elbow is perfect. Everything about it. You're like, oh, they should show that and teach people how to shoot using this video. It's perfect.
That whole sequence is just on the table. I get that Timmy is the reason that they're in a position to even steal the game late.
Yeah.
And they do. But for the kid to hit the shot, then get right back ready to go half court on defense. Like, I understand it's for a ticket to the Elite Eight, but still, the presence of mind to be there, come away with the ball, and then to calmly stare out among the masses in the crowd. That's just ice cold. That is the assassin-like stuff I love to see in any sport when somebody's clutch. Like, sure, a celebration that is generic organic and real is something that's worth appreciating. But when you see somebody who has the presence of mind to just go stoic and stare dead into the crowd after a moment like that, oh man, that's just the best.
Getting to that place is so, you kind of admire. I don't know that there have only been a few times maybe in any sport that we've ever played. Like everybody who's ever played sports has had moments where in the case of basketball, where the basket looked as big as the ocean. Like I can't miss right now. But whatever sport you play, I mean, there have been times if you're playing baseball, you're just seeing the ball really well. In golf, you can't miss a putt. All of a sudden, everything's going in from 15 feet and in. You're just like, you can't miss. It looks right to you. You can see all the lines. It all makes sense to you. And those are incredible moments. And sports psychology is a fascinating subject. When you talk to people who are in that field and know what they're talking about, it's fascinating to listen to them talk about the different clients that they've had, because everybody learns differently. Everybody can get to a certain place through a very different route. Verbal cues, visual cues, whatever it might be. And you watch guys who get to that point where they can shoot the ball. And I'm not saying this kid, I mean, that was awesome last night. But when you watch guys who can do that, it's the transformation is not so subtle. Watching that, like they are able to block whatever out. That the things that cause stress, that lead to a lack of confidence, the nerves that follow paying attention to the wrong things, are just as visual as those that are capable of blocking it out and what that face in turn looks like once they do. Those two very distinctly different things are visible and easy to see. That's how you know when a guy's about to choke, because we're watching it. And you can watch a guy at the free throw line and you can look at his face and go, oh no.
Yeah.
That poor bastard. He wants to be anywhere but there.
And if that guy on the front end gets to rattle home, he'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But he needs
a break.
bounce.
He needs something good to happen
Yep.
for him. It's the worst feeling, though, when especially if it's kids. Like, I hate seeing nervous kids in Little League baseball and stuff like that. Oh, that kid's scared to death. This is not going to go well for him. He's just not going to swing the bat. He's too scared to swing. Like, we've all encountered that. Or a pop fly to a kid who's a little shaky on defense. He's camped right there. He's done everything right. You're like, come on, man. Just catch it. You've done everything right. Oh, man.
Now, for all my foibles in the batter's box, no problem.
In the field, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
No, but it's those things. I love it. I love watching it. It's one of the aspects of sports, and it's on display a lot in the NCAA tournament. That's one of the things I like, is that because they're still very, very young, they're not pros. Pros go to this place all the time. It's like when you watch college golf, competitive college golf. Yeah, there are frontline players that are going to be pro, but it's a team sport. The kid who's the fourth, or he's not so sure. He's not Ricky Fowler at Oklahoma State. He's happy to have a scholarship. And now he's thrust in this position because his point matters greatly. And this tee shot's going to be tough. Sometimes they come through. Other times it looks like us. It can look like the weekend hacker. You don't see that on the PGA Tour. Now, you'll see guys on the PGA Tour have bad rounds. Very rarely do you see a guy, unless it's to win a major and he's never won before. We did have a guy last year, unfortunately.
Mito.
That's a Mito Pereira joined Live right after. I mean, he knew I'm done.
We've also seen a major winner do it. Lest we forget when Bryson and Lee Westwood teed off on I think it was the 4th hole at Sawgrass. Remember Bryson Cole topped it?
Oh, that's right.
And Lee Westwood did it later.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, golf's hard, and if you don't win consistently, and it's been a few years, and you're back with the opportunity,
At any point for any of those kids, though, there are times when, or there are positions in sports that no amount of preparation can help you get over the line, like a kicker or a golfer.
Any individual sport like that is really,
a pitcher. It's a lonely place on the mound. You could feel it through a TV or in the stands sometimes. Like, man, that's a lonely spot out there. But preparation helps a lot, gives you fewer things to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of times I think we conflate a dude doing something clutch with they weren't prepared for it. As though that, they just, this is this novel thing and they were able to summon something right in the heat of the moment.
Right. No, they've practiced that shot 100,000 times.
Yes, that's right. There is no procrastination in what you've seen. They have prepared meticulously for the moment.
I always thought team sports were so much easier in that way because you have a role, one of many, to make things work. So if you're a receiver, you have to run a route. There's no guarantee the ball's coming to you. And the right guard has something he has to do based on that play call. And the running back has to pick up a blitzer, and the tight end has to, So everybody, when the play is called in the huddle, I remember this when I played. I remember always thinking it more about the aspect of this play. What's my role on this play? Because, obviously, the playbook, and you rep it so many times. So you sit there, and then, the play comes in, and usually the quarterback repeats it. And once he says what it is and he gives out, and every one of those letters and numbers have something of significance to somebody. Maybe not to you, but to your offensive line, to your wide receiver, to your running back. All of it means something. And so as soon as you hear the number or the letter that does apply to you, the next thing really matters because it's going to tell you left side, right side, whatever your assignment is, and you're going to know right then and there. So at that point, I never got nervous in a close game or anything like that because I was like, oh, well, I have to do this or this play doesn't work.
Or I don't have to make the catch. I just need to block this guy,
Or even if you have to make the catch, there's so many things you have to do before the ball's to you.
If you're the receiver, I don't have to worry about blocking that guy. I just need to make the catch.
I just need to make the catch. Right. Everybody has a thing.
Yeah.
Like if I run here, he's not going to throw it to me if I'm not open, unless it's a Hail Mary and we have to throw it. He's going to he'll check down if I'm covered. So I'm just going to run my freaking route, try to get open. The easy part's the catch. I got to do all this other stuff. And I got to run the right play. I got to do all these things, right? But in an individual sport, man, there's nobody else. It's you standing there on the tee box. And basketball's weird because guys have to take shots at the end of games with everything on the line. And they're coming out of a timeout. And it is a team game. But that play's designed for somebody. That's why when you see a guy score in rhythm like that, it's all the more understandable because I'm not sure that that's drawn up. That's just like what you saw there was.
Remember the Barrett shot when Duke was here? Zion
oh,
gets
my
hurt.
God, how pretty was that?
Well, it's a terrible situation to be in defensively because you got to play it balanced. You got to play it honest. The lead was 1. Or it was 2. Either way, like a 2 would have worked on that inbound for Duke.
Yeah.
Would have been better to pick up a rebound off of a missed free throw, which, But in that, you got to defend everything. You have to defend everything. And so you're
worried about
away.
everything close to the basket, too. And
right.
they gave that away.
And
you and I are watching. As soon as he catches that in rhythm, it's a perfect pass.
He was prepared. He was ready for that play.
Well, and it was almost like he couldn't believe his eyes. It's those that see it as the opportunity to cash in on the practice, to cash in on all the hours, as opposed to those that fear the moment of, don't blow this. I could be the reason we lose. And which is also not true, but your brain tells you lies all the time, right? So it's like, however you get to a place where you can flip the switch to this is the opportunity to do and cash in all the hours, all the days that I spent doing this thing when I didn't want to, or the times I missed out on this other stuff. Well, it all comes to this. Here we go. What a cool. Finally, I get this chance. That's one way to look at it.
I think that's the way our quarterback looked at it in Pasadena.
Oh, in the second half?
In the fourth quarter, minute to go against Auburn.
Oh, sure. He never even blinked.
I can't think. Yeah, I mean, Jameis had
never even blinked. Yeah, tipped
batted.
Yeah, but that was and that would have been completed if it hadn't been batted.
There is no evidence from what we remember and being there in the building or on the replay of him looking nervous at any point. At any point, there wasn't a moment where they cut to him. He goes, "Here we go." He was just ready. He was ready to do it.
Like excited.
Yes.
Yeah. But I do think that is a distinct difference between people who can. When we always call it like seizing the moment, but those are people who are seeing it as an opportunity. Like they're like, oh man, let me at it. I can't believe I haven't had this chance until now. And those that are like, oh man, I got a minute and a half or like if you start thinking in terms of how difficult something is or what's on the line, you got zero chance.
It's not even about failure. I think half the time it's about what am I about to achieve? I can't believe I'm about to do this.
Well, that's
when
true.
You get slapped in the face.
That's true in golf. If you're about to win a major and you're Mito Pereira.
Well, I would think, too, if you're a pitcher and you're working on a complete game shutout or, God forbid, a no-hitter, at some point that has to creep in and you've got to be able to flush that.
I never understood players moving away from a pitcher who has a no-hitter. A lot of pitchers, I never pitched, but a lot of pitchers have said sometimes they weren't even aware they had a no-hitter until guys started moving away from them and leaving them alone. Well, don't do that. I would tell my guys if I was like, hey, don't remind me that I'm on the verge of something special. Right now, I'm in a zone. I'm just worried about attacking this hitter's weakness. We got a game plan for every hitter. Every pitcher, every catcher knows what that game plan is. We already discussed it in the scout. So I'm just worried about executing this pitch and this at-bat and finding that hole in his swing or whatever it is I need to do. And if by the time we get to the sixth inning, I haven't given up a hit and I'm not aware of it, just don't make me aware of it by moving away from me. And now I got this other thing I'm thinking about that I wasn't ever even paying attention to. I'm sure it's going to occur to him sooner or later, like maybe going out in the ninth, looking up like, oh. But that's actually, you've heard pitchers say that. The first time I realized I had a no-hitter was with one out in the seventh. What? How did you not know?
That's because there are two types of athletes, and that for
those that want to know everything and those that want to know nothing,
and those that don't seem to know anything. You're like, oh my God, you don't understand the gravity of what you're doing. No, see the ball, hit the ball.
Oh well, run.
Okay, well I guess
Manny Ramirez.
That works for you, huh?
Manny Ramirez. What'd you hit? I don't know.
I hit it hard.
What was that? What was the pitch? It was a 2-2. I thought it was a slider. I don't know. I just saw it and hit it. Okay, life must be nice. It's Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The former principal for Tallahassee Charter School resigned after what she called a series of miscommunications regarding a sixth grade art class lesson that included an image of Michelangelo's David. The situation drew several complaints from parents and has launched debate over the school's policies. At Tallahassee Classical School, the art lesson took place last Friday, and several parents reached out to express concerns that same day. After an emergency meeting a few days later on Monday, former principal Hope Karakila was given an ultimatum to either resign or be terminated. Karakila's resignation was not solely because of what happened in the classroom. The board asked for a resignation at the advice of the school's employment lawyer. Karakila said the art teacher who gave the lesson was required to write an apology letter to parents, but received no disciplinary action from the board. The decision will be up to the new principal. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny this afternoon with highs around 84. South winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Overcast tonight, lows dip down to about 65. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, highs around 80, cloudy. Chance for scattered storms Sunday and Monday, 84, Sunday, 83, Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. My man, Eddie.
Jeff, what's happening, dude?
Bears eating people all over the place. I read another article today. It's the third one in the last month of somebody getting mauled to death by a bear.
Man, bears have their own space.
Well,
you got to let them have that.
You do. You got to stay clear of bears, is what you're saying?
Yes.
I got a question for you. Here you go. If you had to be mauled to death, eaten alive by any animal in the world, which would you choose to eat you alive?
Ooh, I think maybe I'd want, I don't know, longevity time, a mouse.
Just a slow burn.
Slow burn.
This thing just finished the pinky. It's been a month.
I could go to work. I could still do my thing. I could probably live 30 years.
I thought you were going to say great white because it'd be quick, or a grizzly. We went with mouse.
Yeah, mouse.
Okay. Mouse it is. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Getting weirder by the second. For those driving around wondering, Florida State 1, Virginia nothing, bottom of the 6th.
Talk about the psychology of trying to take one home. I'm sure that infield right now for us.
Thinking, buddy.
Brady Hoke.
Ooh.
I sure hope we strike him out.
Yeah. Don't put the ball in play, right? I have to get a win there, man. They've been fighting. They've been outmanned here quite a bit lately because they haven't had their whole team, and they're not real good. It's a tough combination. But you got, you're getting healthy again. I mentioned this yesterday while we were at practice. You and I were talking, and then I was talking with a buddy of mine as well about, they've got a fighting chance in every series if the offensive lineup is in place the way it's supposed to be, and they haven't had three key cogs to that whole thing. So oddly, it's 1-0 right after I said
like
that.
6 at bats at a Holbrook,
And remember how excited we were when he started and then he hurt himself.
Impact.
I mean, golly, a lot of power, opposite field too. Do a lot of things. I mean, hopefully. Knock on wood.
Have we looked up Brady Hoke lately? Is he still coaching somewhere?
He was an assistant somewhere.
Like a GA, maybe?
He was an assistant somewhere the last time I looked. But these guys, that's the thing about the coaching community.
He's the head coach.
Yeah.
San Diego State.
That's why we didn't know. You think about it, though. That's why, coaches, they get their opportunities. Oftentimes don't get another opportunity, or it's at a lower level, but it's a fraternity. You're going to get a job somewhere no matter how bad you fail. See Willie Taggart.
They had a rough go last year, 7-6 at San Diego State, but the year prior, Brady's first full season, 12-2.
There we go, Brady. Ooh, like my running game.
They won the Frisco Bowl.
We weren't even paying attention, Tom. We had no idea. When are we doing our draft party? How many days away till the draft?
Draft party? That's probably a month away.
Yeah, it's a full month. I want to make sure we have everything buttoned up here. So the golf tournament's full.
Yes, we're good to go on even the singles team. Old James B is rounding out the singles team.
Nicely done, James B. Good job. So the golf tournament is full. Should be a blast. Can't wait to help out the folks at the Second Harvest and see everybody out there and have a good time at Capital City Country Club. It's going to be a blast.
3 weeks from today.
3 weeks from today. Should be a lot of fun. Obviously, the next day we'll have pregame for the spring game.
We'll be at Hotel Indigo.
Yes, we will.
I don't know that we've officially announced that, but we are. We're at Hotel Indigo.
Hotel Indigo. We'll have a good time there. And that, as spring games go, maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. Spring games we'll have fun while we're there, and the pregame will be fun. The game itself, let's see if they liven it up. I don't know.
Well, the best thing that can be said about a spring game is it will be entertaining if you have a deep roster. And we have a deep roster, so it should be entertaining because you want to see the kids play.
It's also always great to see your friends and loved ones who make it back to town, typically decent weather. So we have all of that coming up. That will be fun as well.
And then before all that, Corner Pocket Thursday next week. Next Thursday, opening day. I can't believe it. It's
opening
here.
Day for Major League Baseball. We will be at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Like he said, Appalachia Parkway. Come on out, say hello. Even if it's just to grab a hot dog or a beer and watch an inning or two. I get it. You're busy. But it'll be fun.
Bad news on that scoring bug.
What you got? I'm not watching.
You're not watching the show? It's 1-1.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go 4-1. They hit a bomb.
Well, I'm worried. I told Director Matthew during the break that if they score 1, I feel like 6 are coming right behind it.
Well,
hopefully not. Hopefully it's a nice little round 2-1 win for the Noles.
So Carolina has the first pick in the NFL draft because they got it from Chicago, right?
Yes.
And they're rumored to be going with C.J. Stroud. How about that? Well, I have my doubts about Bryce Young as well. So if he goes second to Houston, and then we start projecting all madness and people moving all around, there are all kinds of mocks that have Arizona and the Colts.
Yeah, this could be a chaotic Thursday draft party.
It will be a fun draft party. I'm interested to see how far Jalen Carter falls, too. Just out of curiosity. Somebody's going to get a steal there if he can keep it together. Good work out of you. Good work, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you on Monday. Take care.